Hi, we're Shannon and Gerry Arner.
And our dog, Betty White.
Your hosts of the Arner Adventures podcast.
Could we have named it something more creative? Probably. But it's the name of our blog. It's our last name. We're on an adventure. Yada, yada, yada. After owning our own business, working 24/7.
And don't forget a mental breakdown in between.
We made a lifestyle change and decided to make the most out of life.
We sold our house, most of our belongings, downsized, and moved to the coast.
We live life minimally, but fully.
We live each day as an adventure.
This show will help you learn how to live life more fully, with more intention, by experiencing more, and with less stuff.
We'll talk about our own experiences, interview others who have much to share by creating a spark in our lives.
Some days we'll share real-life ongoings of what we're going through, and others will talk about our favorite flavor of waffle.
Come join our adventure.
It's the Arner Adventures Podcast.
Hello everyone, I'm Gerry. Shannon isn't on this episode, but you will hear why in just a couple minutes. But Betty White and I are back for episode 112. That's 112 episodes of the Arner Adventures Podcast. Today I'm flipping the script a bit, y'all. We're going to chat about something near and dear to my heart, being the rock-solid support system for my incredible, lovely, larger-than-life creative partner, Shannon. I, too, consider myself a creative, so that gives me an advantage in the creative mind and the support that a creator needs. But it has come up in a few conversations lately about our partnership, and I thought, let me share some tips on how to support a creator, whether as a partner, an important person in your life. I'm sharing how to keep the creative vibes alive and thriving while allowing your partner to feel supported. Before we get started, please take a moment and hit subscribe in the podcast platform you're listening to us on, and we'd love it if you take a few seconds to give us a 5-star rating or review. It would mean so much to us. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get to the top 10 ways to support a creative partner. And number 1, dig into the creative world. Everybody's got a creative world. Some people are a little bit larger. In our case, I think our creative worlds they're expanding. Let's just put it that way. I'm all about getting involved in the ongoings of her creative world, Shannon's creative world, and hers and mine. It's a sort of a cyclical process. You know, we're kind of looking at each other's thing. I ask her questions about her projects, showing genuine interest and understanding the ins and outs. Each day I ask, what's going on with AAD? AAD being Arner Ventures. The second thing, clock in creative time. Patience is a virtue. So especially when it comes to creativity, you got to make sure you save space for it. I make sure to give Shannon the space she needs to let those creative juices go, the creative sparks fly. I'm all like, hey, if I see the gears cranking in her creative world, I go, get to it, girl. I'm all like, I got the house. I got Betty. I'll take care of Betty. I'll change the oil in the car. I don't change the oil in the car, but if it needed to, and there was nobody in town to do it, I would change the oil in our car. We got YouTube for that kind of thing. So you do what you need to do. In other words, circling back around to creating space for your partner whenever they're ready to be creative. You know what they would be distracted by. So try to do those things to give them their space. And that's what we do. And it goes back and forth. One does it for the other. Uninterrupted creative time is exactly what she needs and I need to feel supported. This is number 3, embrace the creativity. Recognizing that creativity is who Shannon is has been a game changer. It's not just a hobby. It's a fundamental part of her identity. And I think, once again, this goes for each of us. It's something we've really learned to value in recent years. I think I kind of always have, and she probably always has too, but we've really expanded on the way we value our creativity. What can you say about base luggage?
Well, I tell you what you can say. You can say that base is our travel companion. Base is a money saver. Base is a time saver. So you see, I could say a lot about it.
Well, I should have said, what can you not say about base?
Right? You know, if you've been a longtime listener, you know how much we do love our base luggage. We have of course, the carry-on roller in beige and black. We have the weekender. We have our sport packs.
The sport packs have really become a favorite for me.
Yeah, and we use that all the time. The sport
Mhm.
pack is just a cooler way of saying fanny pack.
Yeah, it
But we don't wear it like a fanny pack. We wear it in a cool
I was
way.
gonna say, yeah, let's not even, because it looks a lot better than your typical fanny pack, and we
Yeah.
wear it across
Like a crossbody.
crossbody.
Uh-huh.
Crossbody is the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was
Mhm.
recently traveling, and I've talked about this before, that I cannot stand paying the extra fees, of course, for checking your luggage when you fly. But I cannot stand either having my time wasted where you're waiting in lines to check that baggage, or you're waiting at the baggage carousel. Oh my God. When I get to where I want to get, or when I get home, the last thing I want to do is wait at that baggage carousel. But I was traveling recently with a few people who all were checking their luggage, and I just went on about my way. I went right through TSA, and I was at the gate waiting, and a happy camper. And guess what? When we got back into town, guess who was heading out of town on the way home and was sleeping a little bit longer than them? Me.
And they were still waiting on their clunky checkered luggage.
Well, yeah, but I will tell you that afterwards they were asking me for what? My base link that we are getting ready to share with you. So if you guys head over to arnerventures.com/base, that's BEIS, and grab the link, you can save $15 off of your first purchase. What a deal.
The base luggage is just so attractive and appealing. It's just the shape and everything about it's sleek looking. If I wheeled it down the sidewalk here, I'd probably get people asking me for the discount code.
You probably would. Well, head over to the
Mhm.
link, arnerventures.com/base, and it's also located down in the show notes.
Understanding and embracing the fact that strengthens our connection with each other. She's the same with me when I need time to write or play my guitar. So it's once again, it's creating that time and embracing the creativity. And then on to number 4, celebrate triumphs. That's one of my favorites, celebrating. We all need to celebrate whatever, different aspects of life. But yeah, it's kind of neat too, because when you're creating things, there's always a start and a finish. You got your finished product, and it happens a lot if you're working on a lot of creative things. And then it's time to sit back and say, look at this cool thing. It's an ashtray made of clay. No, I did that in 4th grade, but that's been a long time ago. But yeah, you know what I mean. We're always creating a lot of things, and it's fun to celebrate it. When Shannon succeeds, it's a victory for both of us, and vice versa. I really enjoy witnessing her happiness and accomplishments. It's more than just being supportive. It's about celebrating the wins together, big or small. Whether you've created a snowman outside, an ashtray made of clay. If it was the 1980s or 70s, you'd be making an ashtray. You probably wouldn't be nowadays, but I'm just kind of reflecting back on my childhood. But yeah, whatever it is, it's fun to celebrate the things that you create. Which brings me to number 5, allow space for a creative sanctuary. And this I really enjoy too. It's such a neat thing to have in your house. Even if you've got a smaller place like us, we're about living small, but one room that's particularly in an office is also set up to be like a creative environment. I think anything we kind of focus on that, but this particular space is a very creative kind of atmosphere. Having a space like that in your home support Shannon's creativity. That's a priority for us. Whether it's the desk in our second room, that's the room I'm talking about, the second room, or a writing space. I got my guitar hanging on the wall. I got an old set of bongo drums that I could really get crazy if I open a closet. There's, bongo drums. I got keyboards I can bring in here. This is a great writing room for Shannon, and a lot of creative ideas come out of this room. So, yeah, in other words, having an environment that nurtures creativity is key. This leads up to number 6, be the constructive ally. Offering constructive feedback is something I've learned to do in a positive way. Shannon, can you believe that people think you can't get dehydrated in the winter?
I can, because I think before we learned more about what Liquid IV can do, we didn't even really think that that was a thing, but it is. And you don't even realize how much better you feel when you hydrate appropriately.
That's true. And you already said the answer. Liquid IV is your answer
The
to hydration.
delivers 2 to 2.5 times more hydration than just plain water alone. It's like your water is working for you. You have employed your water to do a job for you, and they're working for you.
And not only did they deliver 2.5 times more, but they deliver 2.5 times more in many delightful flavors.
Oh my gosh. I think it's
Mhm.
more than 2.5 times. They have a lot of different flavors. My favorite is the same as it is in the summer, the pina colada and the strawberry. And I like to mix them together.
Oh yeah, you do. Gosh, it'd be hard for me to pick a favorite. Most of them are so good. All of them are so good.
Yeah.
I guess I do have a few that sometimes I get hung up on some different ones sometimes, but yeah, I move all around, and that keeps you drinking more water too, is that you want to get another flavor going. So
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
It really does. And I'll
Uh-huh.
tell you that when you hydrate appropriately, your skin looks better, your
Mhm.
nails, your hair, and you just feel so much
You're
better.
more relaxed,
Mhm.
less anxious.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, look,
Mhm.
it also stops war in other countries. Okay. Well, if hydrating more is part of your 2024 goals that you set for yourself, health and wellness, then we have a great thing for you. Head over to arneradventures.com/liquid-iv, grab our code, and enjoy free shipping. I'll tell you, if you go to your local stores, your big box stores, and Liquid IV is there, it's still cheaper to use this route and get the free shipping than it is anywhere else.
That's right. And I might add, you don't need a huge hydration vessel with liquid IV because it's getting you hydrated 2.5 times more.
Oh my gosh, that's
You
right.
can do it with a small vessel and
Yeah,
not a 78-ounce Stanley Cup.
that's right.
Yeah.
Because who needs a Stanley Cup, Jer?
Only people that are carrying hockey sticks.
That's
Shannon.
right.
Mhm. Not being honest and just telling her what I think she wants to hear doesn't help. That probably works in a lot of aspects of life too. I try to provide insights that uplift her without making her feel shut down or defeated. So, moving on to number 7, collaborate together. As evidenced by Arner Ventures, it's not just about being a spectator. Lennon McCartney, Jagger Richards, those were collaborations, and those were good ones. Trying to think of some other ones. Those are the most obvious ones. But yeah, collaborations, it's always kind of fun to bounce ideas off one another. It's about actively participating in content sessions and podcasts, bringing fresh ideas, making our creative journey a collaborative adventure together. That's what it's all about, you guys. That's where the magic happens, I think, when people get together and start bouncing ideas off each other, get you out of your own head a little bit, and you see different perspectives that way. Navigate the lows together. I'm really good at the lows. Let me say, Arner Ventures is about the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's all an adventure. So being together, standing by Shannon during the challenging moments is really important. Offering encouragement and reminding her that even the best creators face challenges. The good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah, remember that. Moving on to number 9, fuel the creative spirit. Inspiration is the fuel for creativity, right? I try to think of things we can do together that may spark ideas of creativity when she is struggling with a unique concept. Sometimes it's riding our bikes, it's riding our bikes to the tennis courts, then playing tennis, then riding those bikes home, then playing ping pong. Well, if I had a ping pong table, we would play ping pong right after we got home. That would be a racket sport jubilee. Tennis, bikes, ping pong. I'll have to think about a table. I do have a mini ping pong table. Or getting away to the beach, riding your bike to the beach, riding your bike. And no, you can't play tennis or ping pong on the beach, but you know what I'm saying. Do any of these things. Let's move on to number 10. Build a supportive community. Beyond our partnership, I encourage Shannon to connect with a broader creative community by attending conferences and workshops, or just networking with like-minded individuals adds another layer of support to her creative journey. I think we all like-minded individuals. It supports what in any aspect of life, but it's fun with creative things too, because you really, first of all, you realize you're not a total nut job. You go, oh, other people think like me too. Wow. And then you realize that's pretty exciting. Oh, wow. Then it elevates your worth, your self-worth. You go, wow, we're a pretty cool group. So there you have it. There you have it, folks. These are some of the ways I support the creator in my life. And likewise, Shannon supports me. She does these things with great joy and pleasure, as I do too. We like to get into our creative space. We find that these work really well for us. Hey, if you got a creator in your life, give some of these tips a spin. You may just find out that your relationships improves as your partner feels more supported in their endeavors. If this episode resonated with you, or if you know of someone who would benefit from anything we talked about today, or any episode, our guests, or anything, please share it with a friend. It's a great way of supporting the podcast and us, and we really appreciate it.
Another way of supporting the pod is by leaving us a 5-star review or rating on the platform you're listening to us on. Oh, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because that also supports us. We would love that.
You can always find us, links we refer to during the show, and any of the podcast sponsors at ournerdventures.com or linked here in these show notes. And until next time, enjoy that journey you're on. We're wishing you lots of adventures.
Adios.
Arrivederci.
Au revoir.
Adios.
Sayonara.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Dos vidaniana.